to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today Around Kansas starts with a story about the music of John Leavitt, the composer, conductor, pianist, and teacher from Leavenworth. Next, learn about the Bazaar Cattle Pens located on the Kansas Turnpike at mile marker 111. Then enjoy a poem from Geff Dawson, and we'll finish with the Kanza, the people of the South Wind, the people for whom the state of Kansas was named. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road. Well, here it is Wednesday again already. Good grief.
The last Wednesday of 2015.
Yeah, I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And this is Around Kansas. And today we're back in the Dillon house, and behind us is a beautiful grand piano, which really has incredible sound. There have been several concerts here, actually.
Depending on who plays it, it has incredible sound.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one song I can play on the piano.
Nothing I can
And it's
do.
the Tennessee Waltz, and don't ask me why.
That's pretty good.
That's
Well,
it.
I have a belated Christmas present for you, Frank.
Uh-oh, what is this?
Yes, a Kansas product, all the
Okay.
way. Is this a great country or what?
Okay, but I don't have my reading glasses, so I have no idea what it is.
This is Candy Kitchen Values Sugar-Free Truffles. And this is, from the Russell Stover outlet, sugar-free truffles. But Russell Stover has these little bags of bloopers, and I think that's what this is actually. It's a $9 bag of bloopers, but the ones that don't turn out quite right or whatever, they just package them in these little white things and sell them as bloopers.
Gee,
What could be better than a chocolate blooper?
Thank you for the thought.
It's the thought that counts, Frank.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
got to admit, though, a chocolate truffle blooper, you can't go wrong.
Hey, they all taste the same. Who cares if it's perfect or not?
Well, I figure radio, TV, bloopers are the perfect gift,
That's right. That's right. Oh, what a surprise.
So what are you doing for New Year's?
New Year's, nothing. I mean, we stay home now and say, look at all the crazy people on TV. So.
Well, I'm going to be in Philadelphia, and I will be in Laurel Hill Cemetery, marking the 200th anniversary of the birth of General George Meade. And every year on his birthday, which conveniently coincides with New Year's Eve, they have a champagne party over the general's grave.
Oh my.
You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. So I will be in Philadelphia having a champagne toast to General Meade in the freezing cold overlooking the Schuylkill River.
Well, I don't know. The weather's been this year, and maybe
who knows what it could be.
73 degrees,
Really, it could be. It could be. My friends Andy Waskey and Carol Newman actually got married at the cemetery on his birthday, which also was his wedding anniversary. And Andy portrays General Meade, so he decided that would be a great way for him to remember his own wedding anniversary. So the day they got married, New Year's Eve, a few years ago, it was, 50, 60 degrees. It was a really gorgeous day in the cemetery. Champagne flowed freely for hours and hours and hours. And then they have a little potluck in the cemetery office. And
I mean, I have a mental image of this. Is everyone dressed in black or what?
a lot of them dress in period clothing,
okay.
from the 1860s, or, reminiscent of the Civil War. And it's, it's...
Of course,
it's
though,
something. It's really something.
At that time, people celebrated for funerals. Our funerals now are, ooh, but then it was a celebration. They handed out white gloves, and everybody said, hey.
We're getting back to that, I think.
I
More
think
and more people are having a celebration of life rather than, a somber, a very dark event. A lot of people are doing a celebration of life, and by golly, we celebrate General Meade's life every year on New Year's Eve. I get there every year I can.
With corks popping. Oh, yes. Okay.
I'll send pictures, I promise. I'll send pictures to all you folks.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah, you can be thinking about that while you're home watching the crazy people. You can.
Say, I know where she is. So.
We got some great stuff. Stay with us.
Do we? Bye.
We do. We do.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life. And we're back.
And there's still time for you to fly to Philly with me, and you too could be drinking champagne in the cemetery in Philadelphia.
It's going to take a while for that image to go somewhere, but anyway. You're
gonna love it. All right, speaking of music.
Were we?
Well, we will now.
Okay.
You and I have talked a lot before about all the talented musicians that we have from Kansas, and we've got Kansas Music Hall of Fame coming up in the spring, so we'll talk about that later on. Mark your calendars, first weekend in March. We have people from so many different genres of music, and classical music, as you know, we've done a couple of episodes, but we have John Leavitt, who is originally from Leavenworth, and as we spoke before, Leavenworth has just produced some amazing musicians.
Well, Randy Sparks, of course, who founded the New Christy Minstrels and was the opening act for, I can't think of his name.
What's his name? You know, he was a big star. What's his name?
Well, he really was. He was a movie star, too. But anyway, Randy Sparks is from there. And, of course,
Our
Leavenworth was not always called Leavenworth, you know. It was called Riverbend.
I didn't know
Did you know that? Yes.
No.
And Randy has done a song called Riverbend. In fact, for a very short while, he had a radio show before he went on the road again after he reformed the New Christian Minstrels here, oh gosh, almost 15 years ago now. And he did a song called Riverbend, and it was about his hometown of what became Leavenworth.
Well, you know, Melissa Etheridge is also from Leavenworth.
Right.
And so is the amazing John Leavitt. And he's absolutely amazing. So let's take a look at the career of another incredible Leavenworthian. Is that a word?
Yes, Riverbendian.
Riverbendian.
Throughout the Christmas season, the music of John Leavitt filled the air, but the same could be said of every season. The composer, conductor, pianist, and teacher was born and raised in Leavenworth. He received his degree in music education from Emporia State, a master's degree in piano and composition from Wichita State, and the doctorate of musical arts, which translates to conducting, from the Conservatory of Music at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. Among his many honors and appointments was a year spent with Concordia College in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where he was Director of Choral Activities and Assistant Professor of Music. In 2010, Dr. Leavitt was the recipient of a grant from the National Endowment of the Arts American Masterpieces to write a new choral work in celebration of the 150th anniversary of the state of Kansas. His music has been performed in 30 countries across the globe, and his recordings have been featured nationally on many public radio stations. An extraordinary composer, performer, and clinician for church and school music literature, Leavitt continues to teach, lecture, and guest conduct numerous workshops, festivals, and symposia. He serves as a regular guest conductor in major venues throughout the United States, including New York's Carnegie Hall, and Washington, D.C.'s Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. He served as artistic director for the National Capital Choral Festival in Washington, D.C., and the Chicago Sings Choral Festival. His compositions are represented in nearly every major music catalog in this country.
Lecompton. The name was splashed across newspapers throughout America and Europe. It was debated in the halls of Congress. Lecompton interprets its unique territorial history with 2 museums and other sites. Events throughout the year celebrate history and community. Visit the Territorial Capitol Museum, where more than 70 trees are displayed with thousands of antique and vintage ornaments, and be sure to stop in the gift shops in both Lecompton museums. Spend the day in historic Lecompton, shopping, eating, savoring the rich history.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Oh, we're back again. People are going to think that we've been into the champagne or something
Already,
today.
I know. We're celebrating a little early today.
But why not? You know, the English language is so much fun, and I'm going to talk about words that sound the same, bazaar and bazaar. And bazaar, of course, spelled B-I-Z-Z-A, and then the other one B-A-Z. So, bazaar. Yeah.
You know that we're talking about, of course, Bazaar Cattle Pens along the Turnpike, and Michael Gehring, our handsome camera boy, we call him Hollywood because he's so pretty. We stopped there on the way down to do something one day. No matter what time of year, no matter what is going on, whether it's burning the Flint Hills, whether it's just a pretty spring day or the harvest moon in the fall, that is the most beautiful spot in the Flint Hills. You've just got nothing but the Flint Hills, and cows. That's it. And it's gorgeous.
Cows are beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. So yeah, and the Turnpike, is a wonderful road. It is a wonderful road. We advocate getting off the highways all the time, but if you got to be on the highway, that's a wonderful road.
Yeah, it really is.
It's beautiful, and it's, what a scenic piece of highway that is.
Yeah, and it's 75 miles an hour, so.
Yeah.
But
of course, unless you're riding with Heather, and then it's like 85 miles an hour or something.
Well, but the Kansas Turnpike is also beginning to now identify places that you can stop, so, and they do it with enough time so you can slow down to turn off. I'm sorry.
Good plan. Good plan.
It's almost New Year's Eve.
Yes, it's almost New Year's. Yeah, probably wait till the New Year to get out and do any traveling.
Okay, so let's hear about Bazaar.
When you just have to arrive quickly, the Kansas Turnpike is a safe, smooth, scenic ride. One of the most popular sites is the Bazaar Cattle Pens, 16 miles southwest of Emporia and 60 miles northeast of Wichita at mile marker 111. If you take this exit, you'll find cattle pens and a spectacular view of contented cows grazing. You would not find the Chase County Township of Bazaar itself, founded in 1857 between Cottonwood Falls and Matfield Green. To get to the real Bazaar, you must venture off the turnpike, but that's a story for another day. Earlier this month, a groundbreaking was held at the Bazaar Cattle Pens. Plans call for improvements to the popular scenic overlook, just one piece of improvements all along the highway. Turnpike CEO Steve Hewitt told the Emporia Gazette staff that the Kansas Turnpike Authority was increasing public outreach efforts. He said that the agency would like for customers to know that projects are upcoming rather than just finding out about a project as they drive by. We want people to know We are in the process of doing projects, not just all of a sudden the project is in their lap, Hewitt said. Hewitt stressed the importance of keeping the public informed on how their dollars are being spent. There are a number of ways for KTA customers to receive communication updates regarding travel and upcoming projects. KTA maintains an up-to-date website at ksturnpike.com. Website visitors can sign up for KTA alerts sent via email and text message. Additionally, Twitter updates from KTA can be received by following at Kansas Turnpike. Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Well, this story, it's about tougher horses. You know, I've ridden them most all my days. But it's also about the way a cowboy thinks and the way he acts. Some may say simple cowboy ways. But to find out what truly drives him, you gotta look past the boots and the jeans. You gotta draw deep like a hand dug well in the earth and look inside the man and his means. So if we're talking it's all about tougher horses, why, we're not complaining. That's the life that we choose. And a true cowboy won't ponder the what-ifs. And he won't spend much time worrying that he'll lose. Because he knows where he's headed and the roads he'll have to take. Oh, and sometimes I know it just won't seem right. But he's just stubborn enough to make it all work and prove to us it was all worth the fight. So if we're talking it's all about tougher horses, I guess we're talking it's just the cowboy way. To join up with an outfit and to ride for the brand. Or else just get the heck out of the way. So this one's for all of you who ride those tougher horses. And you wear that brand so proud and true. And I know that each and every day when you get up and put your boots on, you're gonna do the best you can do. Because it's all about tougher horses. Tougher horses.
I'm a patient of Kansas Regenerative Medicine in Manhattan. I had stem cell therapy in my hips and my left knee. My wife and I both are patients. We went down there the same day in November. Since then, my hips are feeling a lot better. I can work now most of the day if I want to. And before, if I worked in the morning, I was done in the afternoon, or if I worked in the afternoon, I was sure enough done for the rest of the day.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Our good time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, now it's time to get a little more stoic.
Yes, we'll.
Because now we have an historical story we're
Yes.
going to tell you about.
Okay, so we're working on this documentary on Charles Curtis, and that's what this next segment is about. So I have minions. And like I said before, I have people just give me stuff. So one of my friends, Dina Anson, who like me loves old stuff, she found this little diary. And most diaries, sad to say, are boring. You know, this is the kind of stuff people write. Blizzard, cold, 9 degrees below. Yeah, you know, and you can go online or whatever and find any of this information. People rarely write the juicy tidbits that you really want to know. So Dina found this diary, and what's funny is this is a diary, you know, day by day for a year, but this lady kept several years worth in it because she would just write, you know, one like cold today, rain today, you know, 1932 it rained, 1936 it was a blizzard, you know, and so it's interesting. And mostly family notes, but on February 11th, 1936, Charles Curtis funeral at Topeka, age 76 years old. So the one thing that was not part of the family lore was the death of Charles Curtis, who of course had been vice president and was not reelected. Of course, FDR rolled in with, who was FDR's vice president? Do you remember? Who did you vote for in that election? Do you remember?
I'm old, but I'm not quite there, no.
So it's just, you never know where these little things will show up. And people, you think that you found, like the Civil War, people think everything's been found about the Civil War that could possibly be found. No. A letter will turn up, a diary will turn up, just all kinds of things. You never know. So if you go to an estate sale and you find a little box of papers and junk, go through it. And if you don't want it, send the stuff to me. I'll go through it. So let's take a look at the documentary that we're working on.
Yeah.
It is one of the great tragedies of history that the people for whom the state of Kansas is named do not have a home here. The people of the South Wind, the Kanza, the Kaw, returned for ceremonial events at the State Historic Site in Council Grove. The tribe recently purchased land near the Morris County town, a way of reclaiming their roots. Kaw Nation chairwoman Elaine Hutch becomes emotional as she speaks of members returning to that land to dance and commune. Around Kansas visited with Elaine at the headquarters and museum of the Kaw Nation in Kaw City, Oklahoma. The Kaw were removed to what was then the Indian Territory in 1873.
The Kanza people lived in Kansas. They started out with 20 million acres. They had a treaty. They were removed to Indian Territory in Oklahoma, and it was a horrible, horrible trail of tears for them. A lot of their people starved, had smallpox, didn't have food to eat. It was very bad for the people.
Elaine's interview is featured in a short documentary film on the life of Vice President Charles Curtis, son of the Kansas Nation, as it proudly proclaims on his tombstone. The Shawnee County Historical Society received a grant from the Kansas Humanities Council to produce the film, and Trinity Marketing is handling the production work. Other historians featured in the film are Ken Spurgeon, award-winning filmmaker in his own right, and yours truly, Deb Goodrich. A January premiere is planned at the Jayhawk Theater in Topeka. Though the Kaw Nation makes its home in Oklahoma, its heart and roots remain in Kansas. This documentary film, Our Charlie, the early years of Vice President Charles Curtis, will convey a piece of that deep connection.
Well, the next time we see you, it'll be 2016, so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe.
Yeah. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere
Around Kansas.
To Kansas, gateway to Oz, under the rainbow, this is where
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes.